Hello and welcome to another Universally Bedford weekly update. We're down here at the site of the planned Universal Studios theme park and resort just outside of Bedford near the village of Kempston Hardwick. And today I'm going to be sending out my drone. I'm going to pop it up in the sky. We're going to go round the usual route and we're going to see what's changed this week. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. This is going to be your one-stop shop for everything Universal Studios near Bedford and further afield. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and let's get that drone up and see what we can see. Now, as we start our tour across the theme park site, I want to cover off first, before we get to talk about what happens next and the planning application, which is forthcoming, a request that I've had a lot of times, which is to overlay the concept art onto drone footage. Now, I'm working on building this out so it's dynamic and moving and really exciting, and I've got some very exciting stuff planned for this. But if we look here, we can see that's the concept art. If you want to see it in a bit more detail, go ahead, check us out on Facebook or on our TikTok, and you'll be able to see the full image. But you can see everything there, and it's exactly where it will be when the plans are put in place. Right, let's talk a little bit today about the planning application and what's going to be happening next. So the very first thing that's going to happen next is the planning application. They're putting that together in the next month or two. We know that there have been surveyors on site over the last couple of weeks, and that is a crucial part of them putting these plans together. Now, this isn't a standard planning application. This isn't going to be like putting a loft extension in your house. This is going to be a much bigger one. This is one of the largest private construction projects this country has ever seen. So it's going to be going through a special development order, an SDO, which basically means it doesn't go to the parish council or the local council or the borough council or the county council. It goes to Westminster for them to make a decision, because this project is viewed to be in the national interest. So it's not going through the local council. It's not an ordinary planning application. So they're pursuing a special development order. These are normally reserved for Ministry of Defence projects and things which are often too important to leave to the local council. But that means that planning permission comes directly from central government in Westminster. I said before, why? This is because this project is deemed to be in the national interest in terms of its scale, the investment, the jobs created, and the economic impact. Now, when it goes to Westminster, there are a couple of departments which will be responsible for it. There'll be the Department of Culture, Media and Sport. They're sponsoring it. And the Department for Levelling Up, Housing and Communities. And they will make the final planning decision. The SDO will still include a public consultation, which has mostly happened already, and a full environmental statement. Now, that's coming, but that will cover noise, air, water, ecology, traffic, all of those sorts of things. If that planning application is approved, we'll see construction activities start as soon as beginning of next year, but some enabling works happening in 2025. Now, what is going to be happening first on site? So this is what we're looking out for when we're setting up the drone every week, when we're visiting the site almost on a daily basis. What are the clues that we are looking for? So it won't be roller coasters. I'm really sorry to say we're not going to be seeing rides being delivered or tested anytime in the next week or two. But what we will see is preparation works and infrastructure works. So these are called enabling works. And this phase actually starts late this year, assuming the approval goes ahead as we expect. Now, this will include more ground surveys and clearance. We've seen some of that happening already. Utilities installation. So that's gas, electricity, water, sewage, all of that sort of thing. And temporary construction access routes. Now, we know that part of that is going to involve some work around the A421 that you can see there on your screen. And right in the centre, they're just below where those warehouses are. That is where the slip road is going to be constructed, which will form an enormous part of these enabling works. So the initial site access will be via Broadmead Road, which is east of the Marston Vale line, not via Stewartby Village. That's to limit disruption to that community. From mid-2027, there'll be a realignment of Woburn Road when the permanent construction access is ready, and that's going to be around that A421 slip road. Emergency access will always be through Manor Road, which is the road that cuts the site in half, where you have the construction village on one side and you have the theme park site on the other. The first bits that we're expecting to see is that A421 slip road. That's going to handle about 85% of the road traffic once the park is operational. We're going to expect to see some construction support facilities. That's going to be right over there in the distance. That's going to be where the construction village on the concrete pad as we know it. And we're going to probably see some tree planting and ecological preparation, which will be all part of the longer term environmental vision for the project. Now, who's going to be building it? When's it going to happen? So, as I said, full construction is expected to begin next year, 2026, with enabling works this year, and it's expected to take 5 to 6 years. We're expecting to see the peak of activity in year 3, so 2028, 2029, when there'll be 5,000 workers on site at one time. Now, Universal aims to hire a lot of these construction workers locally, so most of the workers are expected to come from a 1-hour radius of the site, and 20,000 jobs will be created just during construction. Specialised ride technicians and engineers, some of them may come from abroad and will join part way and stay on potentially as permanent team members. It's estimated that there'll be 500 ride engineers and 300 permanent Universal staff during the build. Now, what's the bigger picture? What does this all mean in terms of Universal, in terms of Bedford, in terms of the UK? It's anticipated that this project will create £50 billion worth of economic impact over 25 years. It's unlocking major infrastructure upgrades, Wixham Station, the A42 upgrades, local road and cycling network improvements. We're expecting over 8 million guests a year, making it the UK's biggest and busiest visitor attraction. Once it's open, it will create 8,000 permanent jobs, and 80% of those will be from Bedfordshire or the surrounding areas. There's going to be a boost to local schools, colleges and small businesses through training, supply chain and hospitality partnerships. There's a lot here to unpack, and we're going to be doing that over the next 5 or 6 years. And of course, once the park opens, our work doesn't stop. It's just that the fun truly begins at that point, and we're going to be keeping going throughout that. Thanks so much for joining me on our little tour. It's been very windy out here today. If you haven't already, don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And of course, you can subscribe for more of this goodness whenever you want. We have a podcast called Universally Touring. You can find us on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, of course, and everywhere else. And don't forget universallybedford.com. Anyway, I'm going to get out of the wind. Take care until next time. See ya.